They end up losing that first preseason game. Does that matter?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Everybody
I thought we were gonna have to
listen,
go to blows here for a minute, but I'm glad that we're on the same page.
yeah,
No,
I went golfing with my dad and a lot of his friends, and they were saying the same thing over the weekend. Oh, it's just same thing again. Like, guys, come on. Like, we're gonna get in our feelings about David Blau fumbling in the fourth quarter. Y'all don't know who David Blau is, so stop. Let's relax. It's not a big
right.
deal at all because we saw a lot of good things. Like they didn't get their, they didn't get their behinds kicked the whole game. We saw a lot of good things from the offense. The O-line looks fantastic.
Did
Like
look good.
in a
Did look good.
continuity standpoint, like they
Right.
look very impressive. It looks like they could have a pretty, again, it's early, but based on what we
Right.
saw, I think that run game can really do something behind that line. We saw Jared Goff. It was reported that he had to, push himself in and say, no, I would have played this
Right.
opener. Like I would have
Which I
been with my
respect.
team.
I respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was very enlightening to see. And there were a lot of standouts. I liked a lot of the things that we saw. Tom Kennedy was a standout performer. He had a lot of good big catches. Looked like a pretty good possession player in the receiver position. Funches had a really nice game. Like
He
Funches
did.
made some nice plays, showed his
He did.
athleticism with the hurdle. It was a lot of good things to take away. And we just talked about Hutchinson in Hard Knocks. He was a star with his drive that he played in the opening series too. So there's a lot of good things to take away outside the score, guys. Let's focus on what's important for preseason.
And again, like you said right off the rip, right? You remember what happened when we went undefeated in the preseason?
Yes.
We ended up
Like,
going
come on.
0-16, right?
Yes.
So preseason wins and losses are about as relevant as Detroit Tigers wins and losses at this point. Okay? Let's be very clear about this. Like winning right now in these next 3 weeks does not matter for the Lions.
Mm-mm.
What matters is that you get to week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles and you get there healthy and intact.
Yes.
That is what matters.
Yes.
Don't disparage the play calling because you're not going to do anything crazy in preseason.
No.
You're going to run a script, you're going to work that script, and down in distance to a certain extent, it's not going to matter that much on that script. You have a game plan, you're going to stick to that game plan, and it is going to be as bland as possible because you don't want to give everything away. There should be no revelations to teams. They should not be watching your preseason film. Like, let's be very, very, very clear about this. And it does not matter in any sense of the word if they would have lost 57-3. That doesn't matter because it's the preseason. To get all up, panties in a bunch about this doggone score in the preseason, it does not matter. And I understand. I get it. People going, oh, well, we got to kick that losing culture aside. We got to get it out of the bill. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I can promise you there's not a single person in that locker room that's like, oh, we lost. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here's one thing that I took away. I watched that specifically watched really hard that first drive with Aiden Hutchinson. 3 different positions for Aiden Hutchinson along the defensive line in that drive.
Yes.
He played strong side end, he played weak side end, and he played a 3 technique.
Yep.
Now, some things that I noticed about Aiden Hutchinson is he was a bit overeager in his first NFL performance.
Of course.
Crashing down a little bit too hard, losing contain on Mariota a little bit.
Yep.
So, but that's going to happen, right? Natural growing pains. That's why we talked about, what do you put a sack number at? And I said, what? 4.5, 5 sacks, right? Because he needs to grow into that role. And I know you don't want to hear that, but the overeagerness is there. And I get he's a high motor guy. We talk about that all the time, right? He's a guy that's just constantly going. To the point where he even brought Billie Jean into the tackle for loss, where he did the little, ode to Michael Jackson foot kick thing that I'll probably pull a hammy when you make me do it if I lose fantasy football. But but him moving around the defensive line brings a very different dynamic to that defense.
Huge
dynamic.
Yes. Because that's what you see from the greats. You see Aaron Donald being able to play any technique. You see J.J. Watt being able to spread around anywhere. And again, I don't mind the overzealousness as he's in the backfield. That's what you want to see. That was what I was impressed with. He made a Pro Bowl tackle with the left tackle. He hit him with the swim move
Oh
to
yeah.
bring that run support. It was a
Yeah.
huge play, probably the best of the whole game.
Mhm.
And it was just very enlightening to see. Like I'm not gonna kill him too much for his eagerness in his first bit of action. That's okay for him. Some things I was discouraged about. I'm terrified of this
Hmm.
linebacking core.
Oh, I have that reminder.
Terrified of this
Cannot
linebacking
fill
core.
a gap to save their life.
Derek Barnes, what were you looking at? Barnes is sitting here swiping you. He got an easy handoff. He takes the inside lane and lets his guy bounce outside when you're
Yep.
supposed to force him in the middle into the rest of the defense.
Yep.
Jared Davis had a lot of bad reads. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
It
gonna
was
get on
brutal.
Rodriguez and like the other young guys, but those two, like guys, come on, we need to see more from you at this point.
I mean,
I'm horrified of them.
it was brutal. Especially when that first drive that the Falcons had took all of what 9-10 minutes
Yep,
because you couldn't get off the field on third down. And what was the bugaboo for the Lions last year? Can't get
third
off the
down.
field on third down. Now,
Yep.
some of those things are translatable, right? Like if you're not concerned about the score, I get it, but we can look at this minutia of not being able to get off the field on third down and be like, "Uh-oh, that's a problem." Because that is a problem. I do want to get to a comment from Maximilian here who brings up the backup quarterback situation. And he said that he thought the Hard Knocks was hype. 100%. We agree with you on that. He said the game was good
Ma-
until Blah fumbled,
Max,
hoping they trade for Mason Rudolph.
Max, stop, bro. Mason Rudolph, the guy that the Lions tied against last season. Stop, Max. I love you, dude. You're great. Come on, dog.
Hold
Don't
on,
put
though.
Mason
Hold
Rudolph.
on, though.
No.
Hold on, though. In
Oh.
Maximilian's defense here, hold on, before you like jump on a commenter's throat for a second, would the backup and we are not going to sit here and talk about this backup quarterback situation because I've seen enough of it from Lions fans, but he could be an
Yeah.
improvement over what they have.
If that's the, I mean, it's not saying much.
You hope that your backup quarterback never has to play.
Exactly.
So, but if in the horrible chance that he does, I don't know. Listen. I think that we worry about the wrong things, and the backup quarterback position is not something that this team needs to worry about. And I don't care how many creators want to put out content and talk about the backup quarterback position. It is nearly irrelevant to this team because here's the reality. Even if this team is good this year, record-wise, if Goff is hurt, the season's done.
Right.
And in reality, I'm going to get killed for this, but you don't really want them to be good this year. They're still about a year away from building. Okay. So losing again, and I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I want to be very clear about that. I like winning. I don't mind picking in the middle of the first round. But the backup quarterback position is not going to make a difference one way or the other. If anything, it's going to help us build stronger for the future because of all the losing that will take place if they have to play.
And
man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?